McMinnville, Yamhill County, and Oregon News Brief, Friday, September 12, 2025. McMinnville City Councilor Sal Peralta appears to be justifying the killing of Charlie Kirk. County Commissioner Bubba King speaks for and against the new ODOT gas tax bill. The left coast states decide to become their own medical authority. In a recent response to someone on social media, Sal Peralta says of Charlie Kirk, quote, "He's a Christian motivational speaker the same way the Klan is a Christian fraternal organization. He has no relationship to a gospel-centered Bible. His entire shtick is the opposite of Jesus' ministry, to persuade people like you to dislike, fear, and hate people you perceive to be different from you. Liberals, immigrants, trans people, etc. I don't wish harm on anyone, but when you make a living out of on groups of other people every single day, don't be surprised when some of the hate comes back to you. Mr. Peralta, it's obvious you have no idea who Charlie Kirk is." And of course, Mr. Peralta said this after Charlie Kirk was killed. That seems quite insensitive and dangerous. Is not a good look for someone who represents the city of McMinnville. I'm going to play two clips from Yamhill County Commissioner Bubba King, one from his testimony in favor of a bill, the ODOT bill in Salem, and another against the same bill. It's pretty confusing.
Let me be clear. A transportation package must pass. Without it, our roads, bridges, and essential infrastructure will fall further into disrepair. So I will support the package because without it, rural counties like mine would be left behind again.
No, I can't in good conscience vote for this, right?
I can't in good conscience
vote for this. Yeah.
In all of this, Bubba continues to portray himself as a moderate, but he certainly is flip-flopping early on into his career. We'll have to see how he votes on issues in the future. Who can forget one of his early actions? To go to Washington with Congresswoman Andrea Salinas, who is definitely partisan, and who walked out on President Trump's speech to Congress on March 4th of this year. Now, if I'm interpreting his actions and speeches wrongly, please let me know in the comments below. I'm sure you've heard by now that Oregon Governor Tina Kotek once again is joining a multi-state alliance with California Governor Gavin Newsom, Washington Governor Bob Ferguson, and Hawaii Governor Josh Green, MD, in launching a new West Coast Health Alliance to defend the CDC and represent a unified regional response to what is perceived to be the Trump administration's destruction of the U.S. CDC's credibility and scientific integrity. Yes, let's just call them the Left Coast Ministry of Truth. Here's a response to that from a friend of mine named David, who wrote the following. Just as there have been several alliances in history dubbed the Axis of Evil with regard to war aims, leaders of the three West Coast states have banded together in an attempt to defeat the Bad Orange Man and his Director of Health and Human Services, RFK Jr. Not satisfied with their state's tyranny during the COVID-19 pandemic, the governors of California, Oregon, and Washington are joining forces once again to protect the unwashed masses from themselves. Their stated goals to preserve access to vaccinations and to prevent disinformation. Allow me to translate. The aforementioned governors want to preserve their ability to dictate terms of compliance to their citizens without competing information getting in the way. No matter that so much of what the CDC came up with was proven in short order to be voodoo science, for example, 6-foot social distancing, 2 weeks to slow the spread, masks and vaccines will prevent transmission, etc. And the bureaucrats' response? COVID spreads in restaurants, bars, and churches, but not in strip clubs or marijuana dispensaries. Mass firings of employees who refused to put an experimental medication in their bodies, and the cessation of in-person learning for students. So left coast governors torpedoed their economies, destroying learning outcomes for students, and removed skilled employees from critical services like healthcare all over what amounted to a bad chest cold for most people. Not having learned their lessons the first time, like most communists, the tyrants appear poised to continue what they started in 2019. The question remains, however, will the citizens of these states follow the Pied Pipers off the cliff again, or will they offer more than token resistance? Are we going to put up with it this time? Only time will tell. And I just want to add my own comments to this. We're not against vaccines per se. It's about the lack of good research on each of them.